hate to be the one to tell you this, but your chili
sucks.
Why? Because it doesn't have enough goddamn chilies in it. Oh, but I don't like the spice. I can't handle it. Through careful consideration of chilies, we can add a ton of depth of flavor without burning off your butthole. Let's get into it. This is the dankest chili you've probably ever had. It's packed with tons of deep, dark, savory, roasted, smoky flavor thanks to all the chilies we're going to be using, of which we're using a bunch. And no, it's not going to be super spicy. Calm down. Here, we've got chile Guajillo. It's a mild to medium chili with great fruity notes. This is chile Ancho. It's a mild chili, and it's actually the ripe and dried form of this guy that we'll get to in a second. It's packed with tons of deep, dark, dried fruit flavors. This is chile poblano, and it's my personal fave. It's like a green pepper for grown-ups. It has those same sort of fresh, grassy flavors you'd expect from a green pepper, with a very mild spice. This is a jalapeno, and even if you're super white, you probably already know what this is. And finally, this is chipotle and adobo. It's a smoked jalapeno packed in a savory tomato sauce. You can find these at any Mexican grocer, or, Amazon is also a thing. To get going on our chili, we'll take 1 cup or 200 grams of black beans and 1 cup or 200 grams of pinto beans and cover them in a few inches of water and stick them in the fridge overnight. Yes, overnight. You're going to need to do a little bit of planning ahead, okay? You're a grown-up. You'll be fine. Or if you can't get your together, then you can just use like 2 cans of each of these beans. The next day, we'll drain and rinse our beanie boys and throw them in a pot with a bunch of water and boil for like 45 minutes. And pro tip, don't add salt yet. That will slow down the cooking and leave you with a drier, grainier bean in the end. Meanwhile, we'll prep 1 large onion by cutting it into large petals, quarter 4 Roma tomatoes, and peel 4 cloves of garlic. We'll toss that onto a baking sheet with a bit of oil, salt and pepper, and bake for 45 minutes at 375. Meanwhile, we'll grab our fresh chilies and burn them. Throw them directly over a fire, turning frequently. If you don't have a gas stove, throw them under your broiler, grill them, or use a torch. This is going to add a charred, smoky undertone. Once they're all charred up, toss them in a bowl and throw a lid on and set aside. We'll prep our dried chilies. Just snap the tops off and get in there with some scissors and slice down the side. Empty all those seeds out. A few are fine, but too many will add some unwanted bitterness. Now, in a dry skillet, we'll toast those chilies. Add them stirring frequently for a minute or two. Once you see a few wisps of smoke go up, go in with 2 tablespoons or 10 grams of cumin seeds and continue to toast for another 30 seconds or until they start to pop. We'll then go in with 1.5 teaspoons or 5 grams of coriander and toast for like another 5 seconds. Then immediately go in with a full bottle of beer. I'm using a dark Mexican beer here, but you can use whatever you want. Kill the heat and let that steep for 20 minutes. Our beans are done cooking, so turn off the heat and add a couple hefty pinches of salt and set aside to cool. By now, our fresh chilies are ready and we can peel them and remove the seeds by running them under some cold water in the sink. The skin will just rub right off like this. Pro tip: do this above a strainer in the sink for easy cleanup. Rough chop and set aside. Our roasted veggies are done. Pull them out. Your tomatoes should have some sick blistering like this, and your onion should have a little bit of char. This is going to majorly intensify the flavor and boost up the umami coming from those tomatoes. It's time to bring it all together. In a blender, add our steeped chilies and blend. Then go in with our roasted veggies, charred peppers, and 1 chipotle pepper. Blend until smooth. Strain our soaked beans, reserving the liquid. Now, in a large pot, over medium heat, add our puree. 2 cups or 500 milliliters of our reserved bean juice and a hefty pinch of salt. Finally, our beans. Bring to a boil, drop the heat down to low, and simmer for 45 minutes, stirring once in a while. And boy, she thick. Yee-haw! Let's plate this bitch up and add your favorite toppings. I'm doing some vegan cheese, crushed tortilla chips for some texture, some avocado for some cool creaminess, and you can't forget the devil's lettuce. And boy, That is some dank ass chili. Let me tell you what.
Yeehaw!
Salty, savory, rich, dark, delicious. So damn good. Is this recipe a lot of work? Yes, it is. Would this recipe win the blue ribbon at the County Fair Chili Cook-Off? Yes, it would. Probably. Should you make this immediately? Definitely. If you liked what you saw here today, you know what to do. And just because this is my most delicious chili recipe, doesn't mean it's my only one. You know I got another one up my sleeve. If you want to see my easiest chili recipe, let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, thanks for coming, and I'll see you next time.
Yeehaw!